my smile is gonna fade away because I still have a lot of homework. Homework. No. I can't fall asleep. I'm supposed to finish up my homework. Dobby, wake up. Homework. Let's begin before I fall asleep again, shall we? Okay. Question number 1. Which gender of the mosquito bite? Option number 1. Male. Option number 2. Female. Option number 3. Both. So which gender of the mosquito bite? The male, the female, or both? I remember paying attention in class for this lesson. Male or the female, or both of them? Which one? The male mosquitoes usually end up, staying on leaves or fruit, stuff like that, all vegetarian. The female mosquito is the culprit. She is the one who ends up coming and biting us and sucking our blood. So in that conclusion, I'm going to go with option number 2. Female. The female mosquitoes are the ones who bite us. So answer is B, female.
The answer is female.
Remember how I spoke about New Year resolutions, not revolutions, New Year resolutions last week? Remember how I spoke about how you should come up with things that you should keep and make sure that you come up with things that makes you a better person, or things that make sure that the country is going good and you are, end of the day, turning into a great person. Well, another resolution you should have is to make sure that you prevent things before it happens and not whine about curing it. For example, the problem of mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are usually, being brought to our neighborhood thanks to, say, unsupervised, unattended water just lying around everywhere, where mosquitoes end up, coming back and back. And of course, doors not being closed, windows not being closed. They come, they bite, then we suffer. So prevention is better than cure. Prevent mosquitoes from coming into your home. Make sure your garden is clean. There are no, unattended water pots or coconut shells filled with a lot of water. Make sure no place like that is there. Do not give mosquitoes a single chance. Make sure you take all sorts of habitats of mosquitoes away from your home so that your loved ones and yourself would be able to be careful and not be bitten by mosquitoes. Alright? Now, as for the reason as to why female mosquitoes come and bite us, is because the female mosquitoes bite because they need the protein in your blood to produce eggs, so that they can make more mosquitoes to come around us. Mosquitoes are so annoying. Especially when they make that weird sound when they come to you, they come to your ear and they go It's annoying. So remember, prevention is better than cure. Take steps to prevent mosquitoes from, being around you this new year. Okay? Good. Question number 2. Oh, this is one of my favorite questions. Fact or fiction? Art competitions used to be part of the Olympics between 1912 and 1948. So from 1912 to 1948, art competitions were there in the Olympics. Now do we have art competitions in the Olympics? No, we don't. So my problem is whether this is a fiction or a fact. Art competitions could be there in the Olympics because being an artist is not an easy job. It's as difficult and requires a lot of time and effort, just like other sorts of sports in the Olympics. But for this statement, will art actually be a competition in the Olympics? You know what? I think it's true. It could happen. So I'm going to go with option number 1A, fact. That is a fact that art competitions used to be part of the Olympics between 1912 and 1948.
The answer is fact.
See, told you it was a fact. Well, when the art competitions were actually happening, back in 1912, well, these were kind of the subcategories that the art was fallen under. Not fallen under, but these are the 5 categories that came out of the art competition. Number 1 being literature, in no specific order. Literature, painting, sculpture, architecture and music. Now these 5 are the subcategories under the art competitions held at the Olympics. Well, this is going all fine until they realize that painting, music, literature, architecture, sculpture, all these things vary from different country to country. And which base do you use to judge these amazing masterpieces? It's hard to figure it out, don't you think? Judges from a different country would not understand what Sri Lankan literature, Sri Lankan drama would try to portray. For some, a couple of sticks and stones might seem like just sticks and stones, but some might interpret it as some sort of a different sort of an architectural importance. So it differs. The opinion on these arts, on these masterpieces are extremely subjective. It changes from one person to another. Therefore, they decided that coming up with the Olympics, including art competitions, wasn't a very suitable thing. Also, the other thing is, when comparing the art competition side to the other regular sports event, all the competitors are usual amateurs. They're not professionals per se, not as professional as the art competitors are, because you have to be a professional to compete in the art sector. Whereas when it comes to the sporting events, you do not have to be a professional. So they declared, okay, no, it's not going to work. So in 1948, they decided to stop the art competitions at the Olympics. So that's how it all went down. So what you have to remember is from 1912 to 1948, art competitions were also held in the Olympics with the subcategories of music, art as in painting, architecture, sculpture and literature. I almost forgot. Okay. Now, question number 3. What is the purpose of the smallest pocket in your jeans? When you wear some sort of a trouser or a denim, you get the big pocket, right? You have a big pocket. And right there with the big pocket, there's a tiny pocket. A very small pocket. Sometimes you put change inside your pocket and then all of a sudden realize, well, my change is not there. You look and your change has gone down to the tiny pocket. But no one actually figured out what the use of this tiny pocket is. What is this small pocket for? Well, let's find out. We have 3 possible answers as to why these pockets have been invented in the first place. Not the normal pocket, but the tiny pocket that you find in your trousers. Okay? First option, or the first answer, could be to hold toffees. Yeah, it could hold a couple of toffees. That's like the perfect, size for toffee holding. Or it could be to hold glasses, sunglasses, your normal spectacles. Guess it's a little bit too small for that, don't you? And option number 3 is to hold watches. Well, that sounds about right. You do. You can keep a small watch inside your wristwatch, inside that tiny pocket that you have. It's quite possible. So it's either to hold toffees or to hold watches. Toffees, of course. You don't hold toffees for very long now, do you? You just eat it and then you put the wrapper in a dustbin or something. So, not particularly toffees, and of course glasses are too big. So that leaves us with one answer. Let's see whether it's right. So the answer is option C, to hold watches.
The answer is to hold watches.
Correct answer. I've got facts for those of you who are still not convinced that the tiny pocket is for you to put your watch. Listen. Cowboys used to attach watches to their waistcoats with a chain, but they would fall out and get broken. So, Levi's added a tiny watch pocket for protection. You know, the Levi's, the trouser company, they decided to come up with a tiny pocket inside your normal pocket where you could keep your watches instead, of carrying it around in your waistcoats, tied with a chain like the cowboys did. It broke, so Levi's just decided to come up with a pocket inside your pocket, which is tiny than a normal pocket, but perfect for a watch. So now if you have to remove your watch for some reason, remember to put it in your tiny pocket. But if you feel like your tiny pocket is too tiny, make sure you hand over your watch to an adult, your parents or someone around, or make sure that you put it to your big pocket and secure it there so that you won't fall and break. Things like watches, necklaces for us girls, for you boys, different sorts of other devices that your parents give you, make sure you take care of them. Very good, because they give it to you with a lot of love and it will break their hearts to see you end up coming home with a broken watch. Or anything for that matter. Because now we are big children, it's a new year and we are supposed to take responsibilities for everything that we own and for everything that we do. Okay? So make sure you take care of all the stuff you own and make sure that you don't break it or lose it. With that note, I'm just going to go in and check whether my other watch is doing okay. Till then, stay there. Freeze. Fourth question. What are the purposes of mushrooms? Option number 1. To be cooked and eaten. Number 2. Mushrooms can be used as bricks. Number 3, both. It can be cooked and eaten, or mushrooms can be used as bricks, or both. You know what? I'm going to go with option number 1. Mushrooms can be cooked and eaten because that's what I do. So option number 1, to be cooked and eaten.
The answer is both.
Oh well, my answer was wrong, but okay. So you can use mushrooms as a brick. This is how. Mushrooms can be made into bricks that are strong enough for building structures. So I guess mushrooms give you sort of the opportunity that, what I'm trying to say is mushrooms are quite strong, very strong. So whenever you get the opportunities, make sure that you have mushrooms, you eat mushrooms. But on a side note, just remember you could collect a ton of mushrooms, create a brick out of it, and a brick which is extremely strong, just like a normal brick, which will hold a structure that's strong. So when it comes to mushrooms is a great vegetable, So whenever possible, do have a ton of mushrooms. Mushroom provides you a lot of proteins. But an important thing and an important cautious note that you should take when it comes to mushrooms is that you sometimes see mushrooms growing out of logs also around. Just don't try to pick all of them and end up, cooking and eating them. Some mushrooms could end up being poisonous. So make sure when you see a mushroom, ask your parents whether it's an edible one and then take it home. Or else if you are, buying mushrooms from a food city or somewhere else, make sure you check the expiry date in the packaging. Because, my friends, mushrooms, you can't keep them for very long. You can't keep them outside, so make sure you get the fresh mushrooms to make sure you won't get any tummy aches or something like that. Or be stuck in the washroom for a very long time. So make sure you check all of that when it comes to mushrooms. But all in all, mushroom is a great vegetable which gives you a lot of protein. So Go ahead, have a lot of mushrooms, but make sure that you check whether they are poisonous and whether they are expired. Okay? Good. Fifth question, one before the last. Let's go. Why do hummingbirds often live under hawk nests? You know what a hawk is? This is what a hawk looks like. And this is what a hummingbird looks like. The tiny one, the cute bird who flaps its wings a lot of times and could stay in one place, like, stay, not just fly around them. Okay. So, okay. 3 options. Option number 1, to make friends with the hawks. Oh well, possible. Number 2, to save the cost of building their own nests. Okay. Or number 3, to use the hawks as bodyguards. Why do hummingbirds often live under hawk nests? Is it because they want to make friends with the hawks? Or is it because they want to save cost in trying to build their own nests? Or is it because they want to use the hawks as bodyguards? Okay. You don't have to live under someone's nest to try and make friends with them. But if you stay under their nest, that gives you proper shelter and stuff, so you don't technically need your own nest. And hawks are big birds who can be a little bit mean once in a while and perfect for bodyguards. You know what? I messed up the question before. I'm not going to do it here. I'm just going to go right ahead and check what the answer is for question number 5.
The answer is to use the hawks as bodyguards.
Answer was C, to use the hawk as a bodyguard. So the thing is, with hummingbirds, they use hawks as bodyguards. They often live under hawk nests to seek protection from jays. Jays are also a type of bird. To protect themselves by jays, they end up living under the nests of hawks, where hawks protect them when jays arrive. So that's the thing. Now, see, the bird hawk is a bird who is extremely proud, prestigious, with all that might and grace and poise. Those are hawks. And when it comes to hawks, there's a different story to hawks, which if I start narrating it now, it's going to take a very long time. So we'll get back to that later in a different program, probably. Really? Probably turned into probably. Probably. But for now, just remember that hummingbirds often live under hawk nests to make sure that they protect themselves from jays. Okay. Next question number 6. What is this beautiful place called? Is it option number 1, the Oxford University? Is it number 2, the Harvard University? Or number 3, the Cambridge University? I remember doing about the Oxford University last week. So this is not the Oxford University. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is Harvard. There's only one way to find out. So I'm going to go with option number 2, that is B, Harvard University.
The answer is
The Harvard University. I was right. It was the Harvard University. Okay, as usual, I've got a couple of facts about the Harvard University, so listen up. Harvard University is a private Ivy League research university in Cambridge, Massachusetts. That was hard to pronounce, but oh well. With about 6,700 undergraduate students and about 15,250 postgraduate students. Established in 1636 and named for its first benefactor, clergyman John Harvard. Harvard is the United States' oldest institution of higher learning, and its history, influence and wealth have made it one of the world's most prestigious universities. The Harvard Corporation is its first chartered corporation. Although never formally affiliated with any denomination, the early college primarily trained Congregational Congregational and Unitarian clergy. Its curriculum and student body were gradually, I lost track. Give me a second. Its curriculum and student body were gradually secularized during the 18th century, and by the 19th century, Harvard had emerged as the central cultural establishment among the Boston elites. Following the American Civil War, President Charles W. Eliot's long tenure, which lasted from 1869 to 1909, transformed the college and affiliated professional schools into a modern research university. Harvard was a founding member of the Association of American Universities in 1900. A. Lawrence Lowell, who followed Eliot, further reformed the undergraduate curriculum and undertook aggressive expansion of Harvard's landing holdings and physical plant. James Bryan Conant led the university through the Great Depression and World War II and began to reform the curriculum and liberalize administrations after the war. So despite the war, despite Great Depressions, James Bryan Conant makes sure that the university held strong and kept going. The undergraduate college became co-educational after its 1977 merger with Radcliffe College. So that's when they turned into a co-educational one. The university is organized into 11 separate academic units, 10 faculties, and the Radcliffe Institute for Advanced Study, with campuses throughout the Boston metropolitan area. Its 209-acre main campus is centered on Harvard Yard in Cambridge, approximately 3 miles, that's 5 kilometers northwest of Boston. The business school and athletics faculty, including Harvard Stadium, are located across the Charles River in the Allston neighborhood of Boston, and the medical, dental, and public health schools are in Longwood medical area. Harvard's endowment is worth $37.1 billion, making it the largest of any academic institution. Wow! Harvard is a large, highly residential research university. The nominal cost of attendance is high, but the university's large endowment allows it to offer generous financial aid packages. The Harvard Library is the world's largest academic and private library system, comprising 79 individual libraries holding over 18 million items. The university is cited as one of the world's top tertiary institutions by various organizations. Wow, it must be a great prestige going to Harvard University. Harvard's alumni include 8 US presidents, more than 30 foreign heads of state, 62 living billionaires, 359 Rhodes Scholars, and 242 Marshall Scholars. As of October 2018, 158 Nobel laureates, 18 field medalists, and 14 Turing Award winners have been affiliated as students, faculty, or researchers. In addition, there's more. Harvard students and alumni have won 10 Academy Awards and 48 Pulitzer Prizes and 108 Olympic medals. Breaking it down would be 46 gold, 41 silver, and 21 bronze. That's a lot of achievement to one university. Wow, I'm proud of Harvard. Alright, so last week we checked out about Oxford, this week it was Harvard, maybe next week it's some other prestigious university, you never know. Alright, so with that, my assignments for now, my homework for now is done and dusted. Thank you so much for the help that you provided me today. Without you, I would not have been able to figure this out. Hopefully you did learn something from today and about the whole big case I read about Harvard. Something must have gone into your mind. No? So if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, any doubts that you have, make sure you send a picture of your question to Instagram, Facebook, or I think you could do it through Twitter. You can do it through Twitter. Yeah, do that. Or if you want, you can send in your questions to the address right over there or call us on that number as well. And then maybe I'll be able to help you if I know the answer, that is. so much for helping me finish off my homework. I'll be with you the next time when I have a ton of homework. Till next time, don't be out.